Okay, y'all, so I'm back. I'm here with another review of Last Chance U Basketball. We are on episode 3, okay? This episode, real thug nigga tears everywhere, okay? So let's get to it. I also want to say, yesterday, just started following Deshaun, his girlfriend KIERA, KJ, and Joe. These little niggas, they having a good time with this situation as they should be. Every time I turn around, one of these little niggas is on live. I'm here for it. Y'all better soak in the moment. I'm here for it. Shout out to y'all, okay? So anyway, alrighty, so we start off episode 3, okay? And we have Deshaun and we meet his girlfriend, KIERA. I'm going to get to Deshaun and KIERA in a moment because my heart just, I'm gonna get to them, okay? But they meet up with his old coach, all right? And I don't know, maybe this is when he was in elementary school. I don't know what coach he was, but he went to meet up with him or whatever, and he goes to the gym and he's talking to him, and then they start to talk about Deshaun's mom, okay? And how Deshaun's mom's 49th birthday was last week. And I said, okay, so this is the direction we're going on this episode. All right, so let me get ready to cry. Okay, ready to cry? Okay, let's go. I'm ready to cry. Let's get to it. I'm ready to get in my feelings, okay? So, the coach, tells us about the relationship between Deshaun and his mom and how tight they were, and how he's been around him since he was 7, so he just really understands, the relationship that they have. So, we got 38 days now, 38 days until playoffs, okay? And Coach Rob, he's setting everything up like he normally does, and he's pretty much saying that he hopes that, Joe comes in because nobody has heard from Joe. When Coach Robs gets on the court, he talks to Coach Mosley. He was like, well, have you heard anything? And he was like, yeah, Joe texted me this morning saying, oh, I'm sorry, Coach. I forgot I had something to do. So, of course, they're both just aggravated, like, oh, my gosh, like, this is a little bit too much. So, then we see one of the other coaches talking to the head coach of, I think Utah Valley is what it is. And they're talking about Deshaun, and the coach is telling him, the head coach, Deshaun is he's really talented, and outside of that, like, he's just a really, really, really good person, you know what I mean? But the coach said the one thing he is worried about is the fact that when he gets off the court, he doesn't really have anybody at home, that's going to be in his face and making sure he's getting shit done. So he doesn't really have guidance, and he's also worried about girls. He was like, I mean, in Utah, there's girls, but there are a lot of girls having sex, which I know because I watched Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Ha, I know that, okay? So yeah, but the coach said, but the thing about that is, like, he's faithful to his girl, KIERA. And it was funny because the coach was like, is he really faithful? Which really cracked me the fuck up. He was like, is he really faithful? He's like, he is, because that's all that he has. He doesn't have anybody else. I have in my notes, woo, child, okay. See, this is the thing, and okay, I'm glad I got it in my notes. KIERA and Deshaun, they remind me so much of me and my boyfriend now when we first got together. Like, they're young, but you could tell, like, they're really in love, and it seems like they're really, like, inseparable. I got with my boyfriend when I was 16 years old, so like, them first couple years, like, all the way up until we moved in with each other. And now that we live with each other, we can't stand being around each other. But when we were not living together necessarily, and, like, I had my own place, like, especially, like, when I was in college and stuff like that, and I had, like, got my first apartment and stuff, like, inseparable. And I'm like, KIERA is me, and I am KIERA. Because let me tell you something. I went to college, my boyfriend did not. But let me tell you something right now. If my man was on the basketball team, do you know how much I would have been like, all right, babe, look, what? You got basketball? What time? All right, cool. And I would have been just like this with my laptop. I would be just like this on the stands. You see the way she was eating her food? This would be me doing my homework. Doing my homework. When they blow the whistle for a break, I'll put this shit down. Give him some water. How you doing, baby? You doing good? You doing good? Yes, KIERA and Deshaun. The whole time I was looking at them, I'm like, yo, they are me in bed. Like, they just remind me of us so fucking much, and it's so adorable, and it's so cute. And KIERA, how dare you, KIERA, be that damn beautiful? How dare you? You got your nerve to not just have, like, almost a perfect fucking skin tone, but your edges are perfect too. You win, Deshaun. You fucking win. You fucking win. I'm over it. I love them two together. KIERA, boss bitch. I went on her Instagram and I seen like she owns like a hairline or whatever. You better get to the money. Get to the money. Come on, Kiera. Come through. Those are my faves. Love them. Okay. So anyway, so like I said, I just love the wherever you go, I go type of thing. Like that was me. That was me. That was me. Okay. So then we get into the importance of gelling a basketball team together. Okay. So I think maybe the producers asked Coach Mosley, like, how is that going or something like that. He was like, I mean, that's what I'm working on right now. And, you know, Joe not being there is messing up the flow of gelling everything together, because you can't gel the team together if you're not here, okay? Like, you're an important part of the team. So Coach Rob talks, you know, we're talking more about Joe. He was like, look, you know, Joe might have attitude and he might implode and stuff like that. But he said, I think he said he's like the nicest asshole. I don't know if he said that about Deshaun or Joe, but pretty much he was like, the thing is, no matter how mad Joe gets, he's like the number one cheerleader on the bench in they show. He is. So it's kind of like, Joe, you kill us. You kill us, okay? So then we get into Deshaun, okay? So Deshaun pretty much says that Joe, in his opinion, is a 5-star player. He just has a lot of anger issues, you know, that he has to work on, you know, but, you know, everybody has, you know, problems, okay? So then we see him, he lives in Riverside, California, which I don't know, is that a good neighborhood? Y'all could tell me in the comments if that's a good neighborhood or not. I know nothing about California. And so him and KIERA, they're making food, and I'm just like, that's me and Ben. That's us at that age. Like, it makes me want to cry. Like, that was me and him at the age of, like, I don't know how old they are, but I'm gonna assume they're probably like 19, 20, maybe 21 at the oldest. That was us. That was us, period. They was cute, you know. They said that they met through Instagram, which is funny because me and my boyfriend met through Facebook. She's so damn beautiful. That's what I have in here. She's so damn beautiful. Come on, edges. Come on, skin. That's literally what I have written in my notes. You know, and she talks about how Deshaun had to grow up really fast and pretty much learn how to take care of an entire household by himself. And she pretty much kind of helped him, you know, with that. I think that people really underrate when you get in a relationship young like that. The reason why, to me, I think it's even more difficult to sustain, so when people are able to, I think it's amazing, is because you're not just only, like, growing, like, KIERA's not only growing individually, I mean, they're not growing just as a couple, but they're growing individually. Like, KIERA is becoming a young woman, and she's trying to step into her womanhood. He's becoming a young man, about to be a full-ass grown man, and I feel like those things individually, you kind of go through a lot trying to figure that out. So it's like, trying to figure that out together with somebody else, that's even like harder, and I think it's amazing when people are able to do that. I just really do. So then we have 34 days into the playoffs, okay, and it's the guard positions meeting, okay, and Coach Rob is pretty much just going over stats and what needs, you know, to be improved. I think he's talking about KJ. Yeah, he was. When he was talking about, you know, him and Deshaun was talking about, you know, how 6'9" athletes are, like, really, really special. Because they're really a dime a dozen. It's not a lot of them. And, you know, being a smaller guard like Deshaun is, you know, he must stand out because the market is, like, completely crowded. Everybody wants to be, you know, like, a guard or a shooting guard. Everybody wants to do that. And there's a lot of dudes that's, like, 6'2", 6'3". I think he said he's 6'2". So then we go to practice, okay, and we talk about Malik a little bit more, and you know, they talk about how Malik needs to pretty much work harder, and he gets frustrated. To me, it seems like at criticism. Like, it doesn't seem like he really likes when the coaches point something out that he does wrong. It seems to, like, really, like, aggravate the shit out of him. And you know, they pretty much are saying, a lot of the coaches, like, he has way more potential than he even knows. Like, he has no idea, like, how far he can really actually go. And they also said that they feel like competition helps him thrive. So right now, there's kind of an underlying thing between Malik and Joe as far as, like, them both, like, you know, having a position. They both kind of switch in and out of that position. And I think Malik technically starts right now, but the main reason why that is because Joe can't keep his shit under control. So if Joe could learn to keep his shit under control, Malik might not even have that spot no more. So he might as well just keep using it to, you know, his benefit, pretty much. So then during practice, you know, you can see Deshaun is having, like, a really bad slump. Like, he's not hitting shit. Like, he's not hitting anything from anywhere. And then it shows that he kind of messed up his thumb or whatever. So Coach Mosley helps him fix that. Then after that, the practice is over. He goes, you see Deshaun talking to Coach. He's like, Coach, I need you to look over, like, these papers for me or whatever. And it's pretty much a retainer from a lawyer because he has a battery. Is it a battery and assault charge? I think it's a battery charge. And he pretty much says that this wasn't his fault because him and his girl was, I think, like, at a club or something like that. And then, like, he was in custody by security, but then security whooped his ass while he was in custody and threw him to the ground and all of this other shit. So they about to go and get that money from him. And, you know, he says, even though, like, he knew it wasn't his fault and his mama ain't here, he was still terrified about calling. I said, yeah, that's us. That's all of us. That's all of us. We all gonna be terrified to call our mama and tell her we got arrested or some crazy shit like that. I also like how clearly you can tell that Deshaun, like, you know, Coach Mosley said last episode how Deshaun's mom told him, you know, like, I'm giving you my son to pretty much take care of, and he has taken him under his wing. And I feel like this in particular, it, like, shows that, you know, because that's who he went to. He went to Coach Mosley to get help as far as this case. You know what I mean? Like, so I love their relationship. It seems like it's very genuine. I'm really much so here for it, okay? Alrighty. Real thug nigga tears time. I cried. I always cried like a baby, but I did cry during this whole thing. You know, Deshaun, if you are watching, you are a strong young man. Like, you are such a strong young man. You are such a strong young man. Like, top tier. And when you said you're going through the hardest part of your life, I felt that. I mean, I felt that in the depths. Like, I really felt that when he said that. I've never been through that, but I felt it when he said it. I appreciate the honesty, Deshaun. I appreciate the openness. I appreciate the candidness of it all. I really, really, truly do. Okay, so let's talk about his mom, okay? I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I don't want to, like, re-trigger. I don't want to trigger nobody that's watching this. I don't want to get nobody in their feelings any more than we did during the episode. So let's just kind of go through it, you know. So, as y'all can see, he's a little light bright, okay? Deshaun is a little light bright. So his mom is white, his dad is black, okay? But his dad was never really around, okay? So for the longest time, it was just only him and his mom. Now, according to Coach Mosley, he says he feels like, you know, Deshaun and his mom didn't really, like, talk to a lot of their other family. It really was just them. It wasn't really a whole lot of other people that came around or that they were around his family. So it really was just them. So they asked him how did he find out about her having cancer. He said that he had a tournament in Kansas and she's never missed a game before, but called him and told him that she couldn't come because she had an ear infection. Whenever he came home, that's when she told him that, you know, she had cancer. And then the producers asked, how much time was it between the time you found out and the time she died? And he said 3 years, which I said, like, it's good in the sense of, like, at least you had the time to really spend with her. But at the same time, like, cancer is so, like, ravenous, like, throughout my entire family. Like, my aunt just found out that she, like, had breast cancer. My grandma has had cancer for, like, since I was in middle school. So, like, since 2008. And the physical changes, that's what really got me about what he talked about. Okay, I'm going to try not to cry. Because, see, I said I wasn't going to cry. I'm trying not to get my feelings about it. He talked about the physical changes that he had to see his mom go through. Losing of the hair. Her getting smaller. That. Hold on, y'all. After I found out about my grandma, like, having cancer, like I said, when I was in middle school. And this is when we had been living in Pittsburgh for all of, I think, like 2 years at the time. If y'all don't know, I'm originally from New York City or whatever. And so when we came back to Brooklyn to go and see her for the very first time, it was, like I said, maybe 2.5 years, like, after we had left Pittsburgh. First of all, when my younger sister, one of my sisters is like 5.5 years younger than me, when she seen her, she lost it. Like, tears everywhere because she just looked so differently. I did not cry because I didn't want to cry in front of everybody else. But when I went into the room, I bawled like a baby. Like, them physical changes and you having to see somebody go through that, it is very tolling emotionally. So that more than anything is what really stuck out to me. And and also the fact that he said, they had a conversation, thankfully before she passed away, I think the day before, and saying, are you gonna be okay? Like, I want you to focus on school and stuff. Like, that must have been a outer body experience, to sit there and talk to your mother about her literally not going to be here the next day, like, anymore. And what really touched me outside of the physical toll that he's seen is him talk about how lonely he was. I could not imagine how lonely that is when your mom is all you have, and then that person is no longer there. So you are literally out here by yourself. Fucking sent me. He had Coach Mosley said that he played, I think, like a week or two after her death, so he doesn't really feel like Deshaun really had the proper time to grieve, which I agree. I mean, he does say that he's taking all of his anger and frustration and putting it into basketball, which I think is important. But I really do think that similar how him and his girlfriend talked about, his girlfriend talked about, a month after they started dating, that's when she really seen how much pain he was in, because she just cried to him. I said, yeah, Deshaun needs to like have a really hefty cry, scream, and break shit session. So what Deshaun probably really needs to do is go to what we call a break room out here, which is a room that you literally could just fuck all of this shit up and it not be an issue. That's what Deshaun needs. Deshaun needs he needs a couple hours in a break room. Turn off the cameras. Let him just be in there. Let him go loose, pretty much, because he needs to get all of that out. He really do, okay? And so, yeah, so that's that part. Girl, I cried, okay? So then we got 32 days left into the playoffs, alrighty? And so this is kind of like the girlfriend part of the segment. So we met KIERA, she's amazing. Then we meet KJ's girlfriend, which, I mean, okay, so I was going to say, I don't really pay them no attention because he said they only met a month ago, but he was on live. KJ was on live yesterday with two other people. I didn't catch their names, but I guess I would assume they're all on a team and they was all on a show. But when somebody asked in the chat, like, do any of y'all got girlfriends? And one of the guys was like, well, KJ is the only one that's wifed up. So I would assume to this day he's probably still with that girl. But anyway, so he has a little, I don't know, what is she, a white Latina girlfriend, whatever the hell she is, okay? And the producers like, what does Coach Mosley think about girlfriends? Like, do he think they're a distraction? He said, absolutely. So then you see, Coach Mosley talking to KJ and somebody else. He's like, look, y'all here doing all of this, like, y'all need to be doing that. Y'all need to be focusing on getting a scholarship, focusing on what y'all need to focus on now. Don't worry about all of that other stuff. And he gonna say to KJ, they trying to breed you. That's what they trying to do. They trying to breed you. I laughed so hard because that's hilarious, and that is actually probably very fucking true. Y'all don't really even be known, but like, as a female, I'm gonna tell you right now, there are so many women that will purposefully go out and try to find a football player or basketball player so that they can have a child that could possibly be as big as you or as tall as you or as strong as you, so that later in their life they can be taken care of. That is a whole fact, and that even goes back to slavery if we really want to take it even deeper, which we ain't gonna go that deep, but we can take all back. So I found that funny. I mean, I do feel like okay, this is what I feel about is dating, like when you're in college and stuff like that. Okay, I feel as if everybody's different. So I feel like you can have one guy who can have a girlfriend and it really do throw him off because he's so into paying attention to her. But then you could have a situation like Deshaun and KIERA where having a girlfriend actually helps you because you have a girl who's actually pushing you to do the right thing and always has your back and is not gonna let you lack or fall. But that's the thing, you gotta be a woman kind of like KIERA from what I'm seeing to really kind of make that work. I do also feel like in college you probably should kind of date a lot. I got my nerve to say you should date a lot in college when I'm the one who's had a boyfriend since I was fucking 16 years old. I got my nerve, right? I got my nerve. But I do think that if you can, then do it. You know what I mean? Just make sure you always strapping up, young men, because who got time to be having babies? I know a lot of dudes who were sick in, like, specifically football, because I didn't really know so many people on the basketball team in high school, but I knew a lot of people on the football team. Sick in football. went to college and everything. Year 1 or year 2, guess what? They got somebody pregnant. Guess what? All of that shit shattered and it fell to pieces. Couldn't do that no more. It's not a top priority. Your kid is your top priority. So yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to see where we're at on time. Okay, so where we at? Okay, so yeah. So Joe is back, okay? Joe is back at practice, okay? And Coach Ken, that's who I keep forgetting his name. Coach Ken, he's talking to Coach Rodell, who is from Chicago State. And, you know, he's talking to him about Joe, you know, how good he is. Mosley's telling another coach, you know, that he got a call from a high-quality school, you know, about Joe. But Joe has to get his shit together. So then Coach Mosley goes and speaks with Joe, and Joe says, oh, I was sick, and I wasn't feeling well, and all this other stuff. And Coach Mosley pretty much tells him, like, you need to control yourself. And, you know, he prays over him, you know, for him. He prays over him, which I thought was, you know, really cool. And what Coach Mosley said, I think is amazing. He was like, the reason I'm not going to give up on Joe is because normally the person acting out the most is the one who needs love the most. I said, you better come through, pastor, because I do know he's a pastor, because I seen like in the description somewhere that he's a pastor or whatever. Come on through, pastor, because if that's not facts. And I appreciate, like, okay, I didn't bring this up before, but I know a lot of coaches, because even Coach Rob was like, no Division I school is gonna put up with Joe. They're just not gonna put up with it. And I, even from watching Last Chance U for football, I understand that, you know, there are some kids that, you know, it's just a lot going on. But I appreciate that Coach Mosley is really showing he really do care about the kids, and it's less, yes, he wants to win, but it really is more about the kids more than anything, because I feel like if Joe was at any other of these, like if he was on Last Chance youth football, if he was around Buddy or what is his last name? Because it's a J. I don't know, but the second guy, I think those first 2 seasons, they would have kicked him off because they wouldn't have wanted to deal with that. But that's the thing, like, I do agree. The kids that are showing, like, that are acting up the most, a lot of times they have the most going on, and they just want a lot of attention or love or somebody to say that they give a fuck. So I appreciate Coach Mosley for that. So then we go to the LA Trade Tech game, okay? And right now, the Huskies are 19-1, and they're 3rd in the state. So, they do have a slow start, all right? They started off slow. And that's what I noticed about this team so far. Y'all start off slow, and then y'all like the Steelers. Y'all will fuck it up all the way until the end and then try to turn it up. That's what the Steelers love doing. They love fucking up the entire first fucking half, and then you get to the second half, and then, oh, now they want to turn it up. That's what y'all do. That's exactly what y'all do. And I'm not here for it. But Joe ends up coming in, and he start cooking, okay? He start cooking, getting them baskets and shit. Deshaun is struggling like a bitch this entire first half. Like, he was really, really, really struggling. But then Joe is getting into foul trouble again, you know, simply because, in my opinion, these niggas are small and he's big as hell. And so when he comes down, like, what is he supposed to do? The nigga is just fucking big. He's just big. There's not much he can do about that, okay? So now Joe is mad, you know, and he can't play through anything. Like, hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, yeah, sorry. So he ends up going to sit down. I have to make sense of my notes. So he goes to sit down and everything like that, right? Because he's mad about getting all the calls. But then a few scenes later, like a few seconds later, you see him talking to people and it's like, why they not going to put me in? They always throwing me out. Okay, because you don't know how to control yourself. Because the minute you get in there, you're going to complain about the refs. So you can't get upset for Mosley not putting you in when you can't control yourself, young man. In this situation, you can't control yourself. So then, after Joe gets out a little bit more, then Deshaun starts heating up. He curry and shit, right? So he knocking them down left and right. Here for it, all right? And then we got KJ coming through per usual. That young man is fucking gifted. I will keep saying it until I can't say it no more. KJ fucking Allen is a gifted ass young man. God bless his heart. So fucking gifted. So he is so gifted. Like, for real. Do y'all see the shots he was making? Do y'all see the layups? Get him out of here. Pack him up in a box, ship him out. We're done here, okay? So then, They pretty much end the game 98-77. That means that they have 20 in a row. Y'all got a whole dub in a row. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all, okay? So Joe goes in the back because he's still pissed off. Like Joe's always pissed off. And Mosley, grabs him to talk to him. They go in the closet. He's just like, bro, like, you have to, like, get it together. But this is the thing. I'm not going to let you fall. I literally refuse to let you fail. Like, you know how, what did Chance say? I met Kanye West. I'm never going to fail. No. He let you fail. That's what Mosley should be saying to Joe, okay? He's not going to let him fail, and I really believe that. I really believe that Coach Mosley will literally flip that whole school upside down to make sure that that young man succeeds, and I'm here for it. He does tell him, he was like, look, I need you to give me like a 45-minute workout. So after the game, they go and he does like a little 45-minute workout with him. And he said a lot of coaches, they put their energy into the game and not the people, which is what I was saying earlier. You know what I mean? And then we ended with KIERA and Deshaun. And like I have here, KIERA and Deshaun is me 5 years ago. Period. They're me and Babe 5 years ago. So that's why they touched my heart. This was a cute episode. Like it was sad because of the whole Deshaun situation, but it was also very hopeful, and it also gave me like the feels because I stand Deshaun. I said Deshaun. I stand Deshaun and KIERA. Mostly I stand KIERA. How dare you be that beautiful? Get off my screen. I'm so over it.